Squid Game. I've just finished watching episode 3 and I was just interested in Dalgona candy and I gave it a bit of a Google. I could see that it's all the rage. It's a Korean sweet, like a kind of honeycomb. Anyways, I got it into my head I wanted to have a go at making a Dalgona candy bath bomb. So that's what I've done today with no preparation and very little planning. I just did it on the hoof, so why not join me? You'll get the recipe and you'll see how I've done it. So in here I have 1 cup of bicarbonate of soda. Into this I've added 2 teaspoons of SLSA. I'm adding 1 heaped teaspoon of kaolin. I'm adding half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. I'm going to give that a little bit of a mix in. I won't add my citric acid until later. In my little pot here, I have 3 grams of watermelon seed oil, 2 grams of polysorbate 80 and 3 grams of caramel fragrance oil. And I'm popping that in there and I'm going to give it a whisk. I'm just whisking that in to begin with, then I'm going to go in with my hands to make sure it's all completely incorporated. Wow, that caramel fragrance oil smells absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do with this mixture now is I want 3 separate batches. I want 3 different colours. So I'm going to split that up equally. Okay, my first bowl, I'm adding a touch of citrine yellow water-soluble dye, and I mean a touch. I'm adding a touch of orange water-soluble dye, and again I mean a touch. I'm adding about half a teaspoon of just bronze mica. And about half a teaspoon of gold mica. And I'm going to mix those through. I do need to add just a teaspoon of water to this. Tiniest amount of water, so there we go. Now I'm going to mix it through. That's a nice caramel honeycomb colour. Into this bowl, I'm adding a tiny amount of turquoise water-soluble dye. And 1 teaspoon of water. I'm going to mix this up. This colour's to represent the players' costumes. And into that, I think I just need to add a tiny bit of green shimmer, emerald shimmer mica. I'm going to mix that. That's close enough to the players' costumes for me. So into this bowl, I want the colours for the guards' costumes. So I'm going to use Indian Pink. Indian Pink is very strong. So I'm just going to use a tiny amount to begin with and see how that goes. So that's just a very, very, very small amount. Right, I'm going to mix that in and see what we get. Okay, so we definitely need to add a little bit more pink into that. Let's see how we go with that amount. Okay, that's looking more like it. You just have to ignore all this mess here. I still haven't got around. I've got my micas in tubs, but my water-soluble dyes, there we go. I still haven't got around to putting them in tubs yet. And I really ought to, because they do make an awful lot of mess, even if you get the tiniest bit on the worktop. So, what I need to do now is add in, I've got half a cup of citric acid, so I need to split that between my 3 colours. So I'm just pouring 1/3 of this into each of these colours. Yep, that will do. Now, just remember, I'm making this recipe up as I go along, but we will be testing it to see how it fizzes, and I'm sure it's going to fizz fine. Also looking at how it hardens as well. It's not my usual bath bomb recipe, because unfortunately I can't share that recipe with you. So okay, we've got our colours there, and I've got here a triangle shaped mould, and to make the embed I'm just putting in, and I just want this to be about 2 centimetres. I'm putting in some pink and blue. What I have left over, I'll just make a little bath bomb with that. Okay, so I'm just going to press this down so it's nice and firm, and then I pull that up at the side. So we've got a nice triangle there. This is going to need cutting down. So I need to let this dry for a wee while. So we've let our triangle dry off a little bit, and in here we've got our nice golden honeycomb, gorgeous caramel smelling powder, and I'm going to add citric acid into there. Give that a good mix through. Okay, so now I've got a round, ring mould here. I just want to put a little bit of powder at the top, at the bottom. I just want to put a little bit of powder at the bottom and press that down. As is typical, when I was putting the triangle embed in there, my phone decided to run out. But I'd already made the mixture up, so I wanted to get on with it as soon as possible. Then I borrowed my son's phone to carry on with the filming. So unfortunately that's where we are. I didn't want to leave the mixture because, as you know, once that citric acid's in there, you've got to work quickly with it. So I put a small layer of the honeycomb at the bottom, put the triangle in the middle, and then I've filled round it and on top of it with the honeycomb so that the embed is concealed. I'm pressing down with that. Pressing down with that, and as before, I'm gently holding on to that and pulling that up, which let's hope it works out. There we go, there we go, there we go. We've got a little bit of it showing through the colour, but never mind. Oh dear. Let's fix that. I can just put some on the top. Just press down really gently. I'll just turn that over as it's drying. A while later, and this is what I've got, nice and hard, I'm going to try to etch a triangle onto this. Obviously, this is a little bit big. I'll try and do it a little bit smaller. And I'm saying I'm trying to etch. Obviously, I can't spend ages doing it, or else this phone's going to run out of battery and memory. I do have a paintbrush to brush that off, and there we go. Let's do one here. So there's our triangle. Now, if I was playing Squid Game, I think that I might have been eliminated at this point. If you watched it, you'll know what elimination means. But we're going to try this out and see how she fizzes.